Hello there guys, and welcome back to another Monster Super League video. Today we're gonna go ahead and look over Fennec. Actually, Fennec for this month, he only got, Fennec only got the Light and Dark Rebirths for the Rebirth Festival. So, we go right here, you can only see that, for this Rebirth Festival, if it stops lagging for a second, we actually only got him, while we only got the Light and Dark version of them. So you can't really get their water, wood, or fire. But since we're doing Fennec anyways, I thought we might as well go ahead and review over all 5 of them. I don't really remember, I think I've done a Fennec review before, but we're gonna go ahead and just look over all of them, and then we're gonna go ahead and just see, you know, what's the best way to gem them, what's the best way to build them, and of course, what you're doing. So give me a moment while I go ahead and find these Fennecs. I think they're all 3 stars, so we have to go all the way to the bottom. Alright, so here we have Fennec, and it was just an attacker with, well, there's the Fennec, here's Venom, and then we have Fenrodor. So it's Fenrodor for the Evil 3, and let's see, the Fire one is an attacker with 27k HP, 2.5k attack, 1.5k defense, 1.6k recovery. The Fennecs are really interesting because they all have a kind of weird moveset. They all have a certain kind of hunter, but they have specific typings of hunter. So the fire one has Wood Hunter, which increases critical hit damage by 50% when attacking Wood Ostromod. This one's not a bad unit for using for like Wood Titans. Critical hits have an 80% chance to lower the enemy's attack for 2 turns. I'm not sure if you fully book them, if that goes up to 100%. If it does, it wouldn't be a bad idea to build them all crit. That way you can get that 100% attack down, which would be very useful for Wood Titans, especially if we don't have any attack downers. Plus, you could do some extra damage with a Fennec. So it also has Death Blow, increases critical hit damage to allies of Fire Ostromon. Again, pretty good for a Wood Titan lead, because then you can run your fire units and you'll do more damage. So the way I would build the fire one would probably be built something like crit rate, HP attack, or crit rate, attack defense. You want to put him on a life. Well, you might want to put him on a, you might actually want to put him on a life or protection set. He doesn't really need resist because you're fighting the Wood Titan, so it's not really that big of a problem. But you do want to keep the Fennec alive if you're going to be using it. So maybe a little bit of trinkets would help it stay alive. Maybe some 4-star trinkets just to keep it up and going. Give it some defense, give it some HP, you know, just to stay alive. You could build it as a pure debuffer, so you could build it HP defense crit rate. You don't have to build it up. You don't have to give it any attack if you don't want to. If you have like Courageous Strikers, you're better off like that, but you don't have any like attack downers, you might as well do that. So it works like that too. Other places where the Fennec could be useful, it could be useful against, see, it's good against Woodmon, so could be used for maybe Golems, B10 or B9, and could be used for early dragons. I think early dragons Fennec would probably benefit, especially against the Wood Dragon. So that's probably the best way. You could also probably use it for Colossus. I think for Colossus and a Fennec could be useful early on if you don't have any attackers, although I think you're better off with like other units than the Fennec, but you could do that. So let's check out the water one now. The water one is also an attacker with 26k HP, 1.5k attack, 1.6k defense. It also has a hunter as well. It has a fire hunter, increases critical hit damage by 50% when attacking fire ostromons. Again, good for the fire titan. Critical hits have an 80% chance of lowering the attack for the target. Again, for fire titan, pretty good. You can build it again as a pure debuffer, crit rate, HP defense, attack, crit rate, defense, or HP attack, crit rate. You want to have a little bit of attack. Good for a critical damage leaf. I don't think it's a bad unit for a critical damage leaf. I feel like Sandwraith would be a little bit stronger than a Water Fennec here, but I think this works just fine, especially if you don't have any attack down debuffers, then that's perfectly fine. You can bring this, HP defense crit rate to keep it alive, life protection, or a life or protection set. Give it some trinkets for defense and HP, because it does have low HP and defense, just like the fire one. And yeah, that's really all I could say about the water one. The water one's basically the fire one as well. And now let's check out the wood one. And we're here again with the wood one. The wood one as well is 23k, an attacker with 23k HP, 2.5k attack, 1.8k defense, higher defense but lower HP than the other two. Water Hunter increases critical hit damage by 50% when attacking a Water Ostromon. Critical hits have 80% chance to lower attack down. Again, the water, the wood, and the fire, they all have like their element advantages, and they all have attack down with crit if you crit on them. So they all basically build more or less the same. So really, I'm just like looking at the same thing, but they're all they all have like their own element. So like there's really not too much I can say about the wood one either. It's exactly like the water fire one, except for the water titan. So we're gonna go ahead and look at the light one, which is, it finally starts changing a little bit. It's a little bit more interesting. So let's look at the light one. Here's the light one with, he's an attacker with 26k HP, 3.2k attack, 2.2k defense, 1.6k recovery. I like the variant one. The variant one looks very nice. But if you like the normal one, that's fine too. This one has Hunter, normal Hunter, and critical hit lowers defense 100%, or just like whenever you crit, it lowers defense for sure for 2 turns. Increase critical hit damage by all ally light units by 40 to 45%. Now, there's one thing I can say about the Light Fennec, which is really good. If you have this Light Fennec build on a Siphon set and you run it for Golem's B10, it is a very powerful defense down unit to run in Golem's B10. I would definitely run a Light Fennec for Golem's B10 with a Siphon set if you can get one. If you can't, don't worry about it. But he is really strong of a unit, also pretty decent for PvP since it does have Hunter. It is a light unit, can take down those dark defenders, it can take out those dark tanks, can really help you out with that. For PvP, I would build it attack crit rate to benefit that Hunter. You want to have crit rate, you can build it on an Intuition set, you can build it on the Ruin set, you can put it on the Siphon set. All really strong sets you can put it on there, and yeah, it's pretty good for PvP. It's pretty good for Golem's B10. You could probably also use it for farming normal stages. I think farming for normal stages is fine too. You might be able to probably bring it to not Golem's, Dragon's B7, and you could do a lot of damage there against the dragon, so it could help you out there too. It could also probably be used for the Dragon's B10, but I'm not too sure on that one. I haven't actually used the Fennec there. It's kind of hard to tell where you like how much you actually need. Maybe with trinkets, maybe it could be useful in Golem's B10, but then you would need some resist because the shock would probably kill it. So you got to be a little careful with that. So the light one is probably the best one overall. I really like the light one. I actually have one build at the moment, and I'm thinking about getting a second one just for like PvP reasons. But yeah. So there's the light one, and now we're gonna go ahead and look at the dark one. So the dark one, originally I felt like it could have been something useful back when we had the old Colossus system. I felt like this one could have been very useful for silencing the old Colossus, but now it's just a very like beefy tank with 45k HP, 1.8k attack, 1.8k defense, 1.7k recovery. Has way too much HP if anything, and basically has almost no defense, which doesn't really help against the Fire Dragon meta. It has Battle Rush, but only on crit. That's the one main problem with it. And Silence 60% for 2 turns. I think it's 80% for 2 turns if you have it booked. The Battle Rush being a crit thing really sets it back. I feel like Battle Rush could have been good if it wasn't a crit reliant thing. I feel like this Fennec really lost a lot of potential because of that crit reliant Battle Rush. But yeah, you could build this Fennec crit rate HP, or you could build it. You can just build it triple HP defense with a lot of like crit rate. If you want to use its Battle Rush, if you don't want to use its Battle Rush, I recommend putting it on a Pugilist set. I really don't know where this Fennec would be very like too useful. I don't feel like there's any place where you could really use it. I consider it more of a trophy mod if anything else. I like to keep it in storage, and maybe one day they'll buff the Fennec, and if they do, I might start using Fennec again. I really wish that this Fennec wasn't like destroyed because of that crit rate. It really would have worked out in the old Colossus, because the old Colossus, I believe you needed silence for one of the Colossus, so it wouldn't get off one of its actives, so you could have like actually stopped it from doing certain things. But Fennec, yeah, it felt very short. But yeah, guys, that's it for the Fennecs. Like I said, they're all basically copies of each other, and except the light and dark one, and the light one's probably the best out of all of them. For this rebirth this month, I feel like the light Fennec is definitely the big win, and then after that, it's probably like the dark July. But yeah, or maybe even the light July. They're pretty close to each other. But yeah, guys, that's it for me. Hope you guys all have a good one. I'll see you guys again in the next video. This video was kind of short, but that is the Fennecs. See ya again.